Picture a ship so huge it dwarfs most vessels at sea. A ship so unique that when it sails into port, even the largest cargo vessels look like toys in comparison. This is the Dockwise Blue Marlin, a semi-submersible transport vessel unmatched in scale and spectacle. Even its deck alone holds world records. This vessel is famous not for what it carries inside, but for what it carries on top. It's the heavyweight champion of the seas. From oil rigs and warships to entire floating platforms, nothing is too big. But have you ever wondered, what's it like to live on something like this? To work, sleep, eat, and wake up surrounded by nothing but endless steel in the deep blue ocean? Where your morning walk is longer than a shopping mall. In today's video, we'll not only explore life aboard this engineering marvel, but also uncover how it manages to lift platforms weighing more than 80,000 US tons like it's nothing. So stay tuned to our channel, The Curious Corner. The Blue Marlin isn't just a ship, it's a floating colossus designed to carry cargo so massive that no crane on Earth could even attempt to lift. Most people would even struggle to imagine its load in real life. It measures an astonishing 224.8 meters long and 63.1 meters wide, with 11,227 square meters of completely open deck. That's enough space to park more than 2 football fields worth of vehicles. This ship was built in 2000 by the CSBC Corporation in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. It was originally delivered for offshore heavy transport. However, it was purchased in 2001 by the Dockwise, a Netherlands-based holding company in the marine transport industry. In late 2003, the ship was upgraded at Hyundai Mipo Dockyard in South Korea, boosting its capacity and adding retractable propulsion systems. It re-entered service in early 2004 and became famous for its incredible lifting abilities. But it wasn't just its massive size that made the ship unique. It was its ability to sink itself. Yeah, you heard that right. The Blue Marlin is a semi-submersible vessel, which means it can lower its deck up to 13 meters below the surface of the water, allowing massive oil rigs or warships to float on. Here's how it works. When it's ready to load, massive ballast tanks fill with seawater, pulling the ship down until its deck disappears beneath the waves. Then its cargo, which could be an oil rig or a group of other ships, is carefully floated into position above it. Once everything is aligned, the Blue Marlin slowly pumps the water out of those tanks, rising back to the surface with its colossal cargo balanced perfectly on top. It's like watching an island slowly emerge from the ocean. Except this island can travel across the world at up to 17 knots. The ship is powered by 3 Wärtsilä diesel engines, each producing 3,850 kilowatts, and has been retrofitted with 2 4.5 megawatt retractable azimuth thrusters. But what's life beyond specs? Let's dive into some jaw-dropping missions. Over the years, the Blue Marlin has carried some of the heaviest and most jaw-dropping loads in maritime history. In 2000, it transported the USS Cole, a U.S. Navy destroyer damaged in Yemen, back to America. But its true claim to fame came in 2004, when it carried the Thunder Horse PDQ, the world's largest semi-submersible oil platform, weighing over 60,000 metric tons, heavier than 8 Eiffel Towers combined. It has also hauled entire gas platforms, warships, and even fleets of smaller vessels in one trip. In one mission, it carried 18 barges at once across the South China Sea, a sight like an entire port riding on a single ship. Every load demands precision planning, because even the smallest mistake could tip or break the vessel. That's why every Blue Marlin mission is both an engineering feat and a high-stakes balancing act. Now imagine you're not just working on this vessel. You live here. Living aboard this machine is an odd blend of comfort and confinement. However, it's unlike anything on land. While the crew on a typical voyage might be just 20 to 25 people, The ship can accommodate up to 60 people in 38 cabins, when extra specialists, engineers, and riggers are brought along for special transport missions. Every cabin is basic but functional. A bed, a desk, a small porthole to the endless blue outside. Days begin early. On the bridge, the captain and navigation officers plot the course, monitor weather systems, and keep a constant eye on the sea. Down below, engineers and technicians check the engines, propulsion systems, and ballast tanks. Without these, the Blue Marlin's semi-submersible magic wouldn't be possible. Meals are served in the mess hall, where crew members swap stories, share laughs, or simply recharge for the long shifts ahead. And despite being a working ship, the Blue Marlin offers surprising touches of comfort. A gym, a sauna, and even a small swimming pool give the crew a way to unwind after a grueling day. Off-duty hours are quiet but never boring. Some relax in the recreation room watching movies or playing cards. Others step out on the massive open deck to breathe in the salty wind. On calm nights, the view is surreal. No city lights, just the dark ocean below, and a sky full of stars that seem impossibly close. But work on a ship like this never truly stops. When carrying something the size of an oil rig or warship, the load is constantly monitored. Even the slightest shift can cause issues, so crew members make round-the-clock inspections, adjust lashings, and balance ballast tanks to keep everything stable in heavy seas. The hardest part for many isn't the work. It's the isolation and extreme work environment. When you wake up each morning, you're greeted by an endless horizon, the hum of engines beneath, and yourself standing on a deck wider than some cities. The sea becomes your hallway, and your living room is mere meters from the edge. Weeks can pass without stepping on land. The horizon never changes, but those who choose this life do it for the challenge, the camaraderie, and the pride of being part of something only a handful of people on Earth will ever experience. And when the Blue Marlin finally reaches its destination, the entire crew works together to offload the cargo, slowly submerging the deck, letting the massive structure float free, and watching it sail away under its own power. It's a quiet, almost ceremonial moment, the end of another extraordinary mission for the ship with the largest deck in the world. From the outside, the Blue Marlin is a marvel of steel and engineering. But for the crew, it's also a home, one that moves across oceans, carries the impossible, and faces the elements head-on. Every voyage is different, every cargo a new challenge, and every mission a story worth telling. And as long as there are structures too massive for cranes and too heavy for ports, the Blue Marlin will be there, ready to rise from the sea and carry the load. Because out here in the middle of the deep blue, size really does matter. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe our channel, The Curious Corner, for more fascinating content.